We are the weirdos, mister.
Hi, hello, it's me, Audra. Subscribe if you must. Don't if you don't want to. It's fine. Y'all, I watched episode 4. I really thought I wasn't going to be able to because I started episode 4 and like 5 minutes in, I didn't mean to hurt you. I was like, no, I'm talking about The Idol. For those of you who have seen it, who have seen my previous video, I don't even know what to say because this episode is actually good. And I do know what to say. Like this, I'm so mad because the show shows me what happens when you put style over substance. When you decide that the style is more important than the substance, this is what you get. The 4th episode is honestly so good. Hi, Janet. Welcome in. The 4th episode is so good, and it makes you wonder why they wasted our time with all the BS from the first 3 episodes. Literally, those first 3 episodes, if you cut out all the superfluous sex scenes and like Lily Rose Depp's T-Tots and her peaches. Peaches for free. Look out! That could have been 1 episode, and episode 4 would have been episode number 2. And that this show would not be much maligned like it is now. Because like I can't, like, my memory is trash. Obviously, I have the worst memory, honestly, on the planet of memories because I just watched this last night. Here's what I'm going to try to do: a quick synopsis of what's happened up to this point. Up to this point, we've seen every angle of Lily Rose Depp naked, and we have also been able to enjoy the terrible acting stylings of Abel from The Weeknd. And honestly, if he weren't in this show, maybe that would help just a smidgen. My goddess, I cannot even begin to tell you, like, his act every time he shows up, it like makes you physically angry to see it because his acting is so bad. His acting is so bad. Like, I can't listen to his music anymore. And he now has me going back, listening to Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. Like previously on my no-no list, you know, I was never going to forgive him for Janet. I don't care that Janet forgave him. That's none of my business. What is my business is that I'm a Taurus and I'm going to hold this grudge. Thank you. Get out of my face. So now I'm over here listening to Justin Timberlake because The Weeknd's music is off limits because his acting ruins my life. So this episode is starting with the producer, whose name I can't remember, but I'm going to call him Mike, I guess.
Motherfucking Mike Dean in the flesh.
What's up?
Because, again, my memory, like I've been baking in the sun. As you can see, listen, I heard that the men's don't like dark-skinned women's, so I'm out in the sun. Thank you. Anyways, like, I'm getting the sun. I'm getting the sun. So it starts out and you have Mike, and he is walking around the house doing like claps, trying to figure out where the best acoustics are to make Jocelyn's 3 songs. Because if you don't remember this, and I probably didn't tell you because ADHD, Jocelyn has been tasked with making 3 songs with Tedros, played by Abel of The Weeknd, who is The Weeknd. Why did he call himself The Weeknd? And it's just him. Anyway, I can never get over it because I was always expecting like Daft Punk, where there was like more than one of them. You know, Fatboy Slim definitely implies that there's just like one because it's a Fat Boy Slim. Anyways, I'm gonna let it go. But I don't know what made him think he would be a good actor. I seriously don't. But I can tell you, there is one scene where I will tell you what made him think he could be a good actor. So it starts out, he's doing the clappy claps. They figure out where they're going. And meanwhile, Destiny, who is one of the managers of Jocelyn, y'all, this beautiful Black woman is everything. And I thought that every time she shows up in a scene, she chews up the scenery. She's eaten everything. Like, it's just, she's glorious. She is glorious. I believe the actress's name is Divine. Glorious. She is beautiful. Her voice, smoky and sexy, makes me happy. Her acting, fantastical.
God, D. How the fuck did she let this guy in?
I have no fucking clue. I thought she only fucked white boys.
So she actually kind of brings up to Hank Azaria, who I guess he plays Chaim, Thank you. What is his name? D'Angelo. Thank you, D'Angelo Wallace, for reminding me of these people's names. So she's telling Chaim, like, why don't we just,
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
I don't think we should kill this motherfucker.
unalive, bro? Because, like, that's fine. And he's like,
No.
she now goes to the house and she's like, listen, she calls Chaim and is like, listen, here's the deal. I'm going to suss out what's happening in this house. And you cannot text me. She like really gets serious with him. She's like, and I'm going to call you and let you know what's going down and how we need to proceed. We need to know what we're dealing with. We need to find the weakness that Tedros has. Right. So they're in there, they're starting to record songs. And of course she's like, Jocelyn keeps making out with Tedros. It's so gross. There's even like this really gross scene where they're trying to get her out properly. Like, and he's just finger banging her in front of everybody. I feel like there's a point where, what is his name? Tedros. There's a point where Tedros is actually like yelling at Leah, who is Jocelyn's personal assistant. Like at every turn, he just hates Leah and he keeps telling her to shut the F up like all the time. She barely breathes and he's like, Leah, shut up. And it's like, wow, okay. All right, wild. And then of course they're doing the whole finger bang and sing situation, which is just honestly very awkward. It made me uncomfortable. Again, I hate like that these kinds of scenes make me uncomfortable, and because I feel like you always have to preface it by being like, I'm not a prude, I watch porn. But there's something, I think the issue is that everybody in that room did not consent to having to watch this. I know that that's like super like but like everybody in the room did not consent to having to watch this to get her to properly. So that's gross. But Destiny's providing notes. Destiny ends up running into the flower child. I cannot remember this woman's name, but she has the voice of a literal little angel.
I'm crying alone.
Yeah, so your tongue wants to retreat. So that's why it's covered. Ooh, but you want it out. Ooh,
She's actually one of the main things about the show that's really great. She's one of the few characters that I feel for, because she's just like this pure innocent soul, and she's just like here. She ends up revealing to Destiny that Tedros rescued her from off the streets because she was addicted to what's the street name for the white lightning? I think that might be it. Not me just suddenly remembering the street name for it. So from this point, Destiny is like giving, this flower child just like tips on singing and like and really kind of figuring out like how to get into it. And she ends up calling Chaim and being like, Chaim, listen, there's all these people here and they're all talented. Like all of these people living in this house with Jocelyn right now are all very, very talented people. Like all of them have the ability to create. They can all sing. It's all gorgeous. It's all glorious. Like, I don't know how Tedros got all of these people together, but it's wild times because his little like cult of talent is actually talented. And so he's gathered all these people who all of them can sing. And then the great thing is they can all sing in different ways. So it's not like any one of their talent overshadows someone else's talent. That's the fantastic thing. And she does the rundown of every single one of them. So this is where things start to get a little interesting, because you see Xander, who is Jocelyn's little friend. And I don't exactly remember what it is that Xander does, but he's there. And he is one of the people that didn't really report the abuse that her mother gave her. Also, quick side note, let me flippity flop backwards, I think, because there is a point. It is Dark Angel. It actually is. Okay. Yeah, there's something I find. Oh my God, he's licking himself so loud. I hope the mic isn't picking it up, and I'm sorry if it is, but deal with it. Dogs lick. And he is a big dog, and so it's noisy. It makes me feel better because I just feel like there are certain scenes where I don't mind this because like if everybody in the room is like, yeah, we're all like doing freaky deekies, and so like I never mind those scenes. But there's something about the scene because he of course has to put a blindfold on her and like make it like really tight, and she's just like, the noises that she's making are untoward and really hurt my feelings and my spirit because like I just want someone like if Lily Rose Depp really sounds like that, like I feel like she has. Here's what I'm gonna say. I used to watch a lot of adult films before I got into doing the act of the thing with the penetration. And I also thought that those were the noises you have to make. For reference, I am Ace. I just didn't know it at the time. So I just made the noises that you heard. And that is what these scenes sound like. It sounds like someone making the noises that they heard an adult film. And it's grating, honestly. It's just disruptive. But if we move backwards in time, we do see that Jocelyn does like an IG story to her fans or whatever, or a live. I think it was a live. She endured and all of that good jazz. She's like, I've endured this abuse. I'm going to come back strong, blah, blah, blah. And then now we're back in the room. And what happens is like moving back forward in time. Because listen. All right. So Tedros hears singing and he walks off to find out the direction of the singing, like where's the singing coming from, and discovers it's coming from Xander. And Xander has a very beautiful voice. Like he's a really good singer. I was like, oh, okay, Xander, I see you out here doing the. And you really, again, I don't know why they keep filming things this way, but it feels grapey. It feels like Tedros is going to grape Xander, and you're like, actually, and this is the weird part, is like I actually had like fear for Xander. I was like, please don't let it be that, because like I can't deal with that. Like that'll be the end. I'll have to turn the show off. He doesn't, he scares him, but then he says this.
What do you think I was gonna butt fuck you?
So then he starts really getting on Xander about like why he doesn't sing, because everybody else in the family sings, everybody else is like talented, and basically there's like this weird shock torture scene where Tedros is shocking Xander every time he doesn't tell the truth, and the person who is letting Tedros know whether or not Xander is telling the truth is none other than Jocelyn. Now, in between these scenes, we're also seeing that Diane, played by Jennie of Blackpink, a band I know nothing about because I am not a K-pop stan, is getting like the works, the whole treatment. They're gonna give Jocelyn's song to Diane. They're gonna give her access to all of the things. They've never done this before, but Diane is the total package. She can sing, she is cute, and she can dance. And we're like, yay for pay. I'm going to start calling it that. Yay for pay. It's so uncomfortable. Like, ew. That's why you have to watch it with mute. Like, hello. You're not. Anyways, lessons learned from you. You're like, oh, you just need to turn the sound off and then it's not gross. Anyways. So you see that storyline starts to develop again over here. We actually start to see something happen with it, because previously, as the Angela Wallace said, nothing happened with it, and you're just sitting there like, okay. And now they've brought it back up. Here we go. So now we're back in the house, and Xander is getting shock therapy, shock treatment, shock tortured, honestly. And Jocelyn is the one who's determining whether or not he's lying per Tedros's instructions. By the way, just a quick note to take you back to the song that she's singing with Tedros. Listen, I feel like I tell a movie story like Quentin Tarantino tells a movie. You're welcome. So we're going to go backwards in time to where she's like talking to Tedros when they're like recording songs. She's like, I like having you make decisions for me. I don't want to make any decisions. And so her song is about like not wanting to make decisions.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah.
I don't wanna decide things for myself on my own.
So now we're back to shocking Xander. Move back forward, and Xander at some point says something to the effect of Jocelyn is a conniving, manipulating.
She fucking controls everything around her and everyone. And now she's doing it to you.
And she's very dangerous, right? And that she wouldn't let him sing because she didn't want him to outshine her and all this stuff. And she's just like, shock him again. They're just shocking the shit out of young Xand. Okay, Xand is not having a good time. But then that ends, I guess, and we move on. Now we're partying because the song is dope. Like one of the 3 songs is recorded. It sounds good. And at this point, Jocelyn is starting to like have some fun. But keep in your mind that what Mr. Xander said about her. So we're having a good time. She's partying. She's having fun. Tedros is being mean as shit to Leah again. Like Leah's just trying to keep everything clean because she's one of those. She doesn't fit in this like weird world, right? She doesn't fit in this weird ass world. She's like not chill with it, right? And she's trying to keep everything clean and neat and nice. And Tedros starts making fun of her for it, and then he embarrasses her in front of the entire party. And Jocelyn steps in and is like, hey, stop that. Like, you're embarrassing her. Like, what the fuck? Like, quit, you know? So this is where we see like a little bit of ooh, what's happening? Because I thought she was under Tedros' spell. Like, and even Tedros is kind of looking at her like, what the hell is going on here? At some point in there, Diane actually does meet up with Jocelyn because somebody says something to Jocelyn about how Diane might be upset that Jocelyn is banging Tedros because Diane used to bang Tedros or was hoping that anyways. But Diane is there and is like, listen, they offered me your song. They offered me a deal, like da-da-da. But I didn't tell them yes because I was waiting to talk to you about it. And you would think that Jocelyn's going to get mad. But Jocelyn instead is like, no, congratulations. Take the song. Like, do you. I'm like, da-da-da-da-da. And now, like, listen, my spidey senses start tingling and going off because I'm like, you know what? I was right for my spidey senses to tingle because as this party is progressing, they're all doing a lot of cocaina, a lot of drinking. They're having like a good time, a good fun time. And guess who shows up? Jocelyn's ex-boyfriend. You heard me right. Jocelyn's ex-boyfriend shows up to this party and she like runs up to him, gives him this big ass hug. And like Tedros is looking like he kind of stumbles. Like he kind of you know, he's not doing so well. And then they both start drinking. Like, so Tedros takes off with the ex-boyfriend, whose name I can't remember. Maybe his name is Joss. Maybe it's Jonah. Who knows? So the Weeknd proceeds to like get into like this drinking competition with Hollywood boyfriend, because Joss' friend is a Hollywood actor who cheated on her with some other actress or whatever. And I'm not sure if the Weeknd actually throws up. Like, I can't remember that because anytime I think somebody's gonna vomit in anything, like I kind of like black out because I don't like it. But they keep like drinking, and for some reason the Weeknd is doing like weird fight moves towards Josh. But then Jocelyn like takes off with Josh and like goes up to the room with him or something, and really does like a number on Tedros, like says something to the effect of like, no, I don't, or I don't have to listen to you, something like that, where before she like leaves with Josh and takes him up to her room. Now, y'all, Tedros goes up the stairs after a little while when he starts realizing like, where is she? And he is like banging on the door, being like, Jocelyn, open the door. And she does not open the door at all. And it's at this point when you start realizing, like, as you start watching Jocelyn, I cannot say Jocelyn and Josh. I've got to give him another name because I'm just going to be calling them Jocelyn. I'm going to call her Joss. No. You end up seeing like Jocelyn talking to her ex-boyfriend about like why they broke up and his cheating and his infidelity. And he was like, well, to be fair, you said that you didn't believe in monogamy. And she's like, yeah, well, I was wrong. All of this stuff kind of making him feel like they're gonna get back together, right? And of course they have more adult film like liaisons. Gross. It's awful. It hurts my feelings. again because I'm like, I didn't want to see it. And it's so long. This is the thing. These scenes are so long. It's like 5 minutes of me having to, and I'm just like, I get it. They're banging. Please stop. And then one time, The Weeknd's acting is good. It's like when he begins to realize he is getting played, and he basically does his like, his like in his music videos thing, and he does like a single tear, like, boop. Like he begins to realize he's getting played. Because I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna finish this out, and I'm gonna do a quick wrap so that it makes sense, so that I pull it all around. I'm hoping that I can do that because, like, listen, I've been out in the sun for a while. My brain is made of potatoes, and I'm hoping that, that some of them are still unpeeled in here. So as old boy is leaving, it looks like Joss is going to get back together with her mans. And she's, I guess, left. She's like, whatever on Tedros. Like, she's like, this isn't the act of somebody who's underneath Tedros' spell, is what I'm going to say right quick. So boyfriend goes downstairs, and Xander's with some girl named, maybe her name's Colleen. Maybe it's Chloe. I'm going to go with Chloe. And Chloe's like, oh my God, you're this famous actor. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh my God, can you take a photo with me? Yeah. But the photos are weird. Like, she's kind of like grabbing on him a lot. It looks like a setup. That's what I'm going to say. The photos look like a setup. And then they take off. And I feel like that's about where the episode ends. Now, this episode is so good. It's actually a really good episode. And as I said at the beginning of this, had they wrapped those first 3 episodes into one episode and made this episode 2, then all of this would make sense, because we are beginning to see that Jocelyn is like a very manipulative mastermind. And by the way, if you didn't know this already, it's done after episode 5. Like Sunday, this is it. That's it. If y'all are interested in me, even if you're not interested, I'm going to close it out. This is my channel. I'm going to do what I want to do. This is a hobby. I just enjoy getting this stuff out so that other people can like hang out. Even if it's only 7 of you who like watch this and we talk about it amongst ourselves in the comments, that's all I need. I just want to talk about movies and TV shows with other people because it's my special interest. So here's the thing. If you rewind it all the way back to the very first episode with the intimacy coordinator, right? One of the things that they keep saying throughout the first 3 episodes is talking about how Jocelyn has a lot of young fans. What I foresee taking place is that Jocelyn has been trying to shed this image of the bubblegum pop star. She said at the table, she hasn't been a liar this entire time, she's just been manipulative. She said at the dinner table before the abuse situation, she said at that dinner table that she wanted to make music that lasts. She wanted to be taken seriously. And that is something that she really, really meant. It's one of the reasons why she pushes the boundaries with her image from the first episode. When she's like, I want to show it. It's fine. And they're like, you have tons and tons of young fans. What's the easiest way to get rid of your young fans and move on? 1, have a breakdown. I know that sounds terrible, but in Hollywood, have a breakdown, because your young fans, parents and whatnot, are going to start pulling, their children away from you. Number 2, you need to find a replacement. Diane is her perfect replacement, right? Diane can slide into the bubblegum pop era and do all of that. Meanwhile, it allows Jocelyn the ability to move forward with the career that she actually wants. And the career that she wants is being an adult pop star, an adult star making adult music. She wants to do adult things. She wants to show her titties and she wants to shake her ass. And she is tired of being held underneath this weird little umbrella of like, I'm Jocelyn. That's not who she is. She's like moved on, right? I don't know how much of the abuse with her mother was real, and I guess we're never really going to find out, because honestly, the show's over after 5 episodes. And even though HBO wants to pretend like the reason that they're canceling it is for other reasons, we all know it's because people weren't watching it and because it was widely panned. Stop lying, HBO. Don't lie in my face. Anyways, I think that what she has been doing was a whole setup to get the career that she wants. Go back. Remember when she did the whole thing with the song where she was trying to like make a song, like remix her song, and they were all like, we're not going for it. We're not going for it. Yes, like Xtina. So the whole point she's been trying to become an adult. That's why the other song is so bad, because like, I'm just a freak, yeah. Like it's like, and she's like doing all, and you know, this is her Britney Spears Blackout album. Okay, this is the music she's making. Listen. I don't care what anybody says. Blackout was her best album. Period. There is no like. I do not care. It was her best album. Period. We will not argue. You can discuss her second and third albums in the comments, but you cannot tell me that Blackout wasn't the best, because Gimme More is still iconic, but like there's just okay. Anyways, letting it go. So what she's doing is she is moving towards becoming an adult, and she's probably always manipulated people around her. And I think that Xander is in. I don't think Leah is, because Leah can't keep her mouth shut. But basically, we are watching her, like you're suddenly seeing her in this episode in a way different light. She literally goes from like completely being under his thumb and letting him do all this stuff. But here's the thing, we have to go backwards again to see again where she like drops her act. There's several points where she drops the mask, right? One of the times that she drops the mask is when they're doing the deed in Valentino. And everybody's aware that they're I don't know how to do it anymore. It's been a long time. So, and they're doing that. And he says, I'm gonna arrive at your station. And she says, you cannot arrive in my station. And he says, I'm gonna arrive in your station. And she says, you can't arrive in my station. And then bounces off of his eggplant. Do you just love how like... Do you love all of the euphemisms here? She bounces off of it and she leaves him to handle his business. But thing is, if she was totally under his spell and he was able to like fully manipulate her, he would have been like, I'm arriving in your station. And she would have been like, you can do whatever you want to me. Arrive in my station. And that is not what happened. So oh my God. Okay. I'm going to have to do like a Britney top 5 for me. I'm going to do a video on my Britney top 5, because I like that song, but I also like Make Me. Oh my God. There's so many Britney songs. Wait, maybe I'm going to do a top 10. Anyways, the point is, all of those 3 episodes, again, still could have been condensed into one episode, but there's so many Easter eggs that lead you backwards, right? You end up having to go backwards. It doesn't make the acting any better. And here's the other thing about episode 4 is like everybody's acting steps up like 9 notches. Like it feels like this is where the crew was fine, like the cast and crew, everybody was finally comfortable with one another. So like you can see the acting steps up so much. And Devine has always been chewing it up from just Divine. I keep calling her Devine, but Divine, who plays Destiny, has been chewing it up. I cannot wait to see what else this person does. Like I don't know if she's been in other stuff. I have never seen a more beautiful woman in my life. Women are sick. I just don't understand. How is she so gorgeous and glorious? The skin, the hair, the everything, killing it. And you kind of start to see that like she is setting herself up for like having been, because like she does that whole the IG live, right, where she talks about the abuse. She's setting Tedros up, and Tedros doesn't even realize he's getting set up, right? Until now, like he thinks he's getting played, but he doesn't realize he's getting set up, because everybody in this house, right, has seen him do this stuff. She gonna blame all this on him. She's gonna come out. She's gonna rise like a phoenix from the ashes. So, you know, I'm actually looking forward to episode 5. Like, I hadn't wanted to watch any of this show, but y'all, I swear to you, every time The Weeknd shows up, it just ruins the whole vibe. Like, he's so terrible. So basically, they've been setting this whole thing up so that you find that Jocelyn has manipulated the situation. Also, not only did she manipulate the situation with Diane getting the record deal, hopefully, you know, but she also did, like, I think she did her research on who this guy was. And I think that she allowed herself to get like pulled by Tedros because she knows who Diane is. I don't think there's one person that Jocelyn has around her that she doesn't know who the fuck they are. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think there's one person that she has around her that she doesn't know who they are. So I think she knew about Diane's connection to Tedros because listen, diabolical. This is how I would do things. She knew about her connection to Tedros, and she knew who Tedros thought he was. And she knew that he thought that he was big and bad. And so she was like, let me get my career together, because her career's been on a flop. Now she's like, let me get my career together. And this is how I'm going to do it. So that is my prediction. We're going to see her basically get her career together. I feel bad that Lily Rose Depp, because even Lily Rose Depp's acting just goes up 100%. Also, just like a side note, that like she is a carbon copy of her mother. Lily Rose Depp, like it feels like her father contributed nothing. And I don't say that just because I don't like Johnny Depp. I say that because like I don't know where his DNA, like where is it? She's carbon copy of her mother, but her acting goes up and up and up. Yes. So questions. It would be better if somebody else had been cast as Tedros. And honestly, they could have done this without Tedros, if you want my opinion. I feel like he's a character that didn't actually need to be there. But this is what happens when you have style over substance. Because Sam Levinson was far more interested in shocking people and showing TNA, there's just so much of it in the first 3 episodes that you could have, all 3 of those episodes, again, you cut all that shit out, you've got like an hour-long episode of shit that matters, right? Of like the shoot and the this, and you have so many different things that actually matter and make sense. Because when you get to this 4th episode, you're like, oh, this all ties together. But the acting really wasn't great at that point, and I feel like I feel like some of that's just reshoots. I'm not really sure why the acting isn't fantastic, because in episode 4, but I can't say anything because a lot of the first episodes of virtually every show are not great. Like I famously do not like the first season of American Horror Story. I actually don't know why I even watched any other seasons, because I've still actually never really seen the first season of American Horror Story. I have tried, but I can't deal with it. It's boring. It's boring as shit to me. I get bored. I get super bored. I can't watch it. I fall asleep. But there's like 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, that I was like really like yes on. But like the first episode for a lot of shows is not great, like because everybody doesn't really have the chemistry yet. My favorite show of all time is Supernatural. That first episode isn't fantastic. It's a little slow. It runs a little like, even the first episode of Buffy is a little like, you know, you have a lot of shows where the very first episode isn't great, and like it takes a little bit for people to like get that chemistry. And that would all be fine if you were telling a story. If you didn't have all of these things that you were like, no, it's going to come back later. Sam Levinson, I don't need 3 episodes of bullshit and like beautifully shot bullshit, granted, for you to get to episode 4 and be like, this is what's going to happen. Because I guarantee you the show would not be the joke that it is if you had put all that shit into 1 episode, the first 3, and then this episode was second. This show would be the show of the summer at that point. It literally would have been, because this is a good show. Also, just side note, for the abuse scene with the mother, with Joss in front of everybody with the brush, I do want to say this because I don't want people to feel in any way like shamed, because I know a lot of people who are victims of abuse, rape, any of those kinds of things, can find solace in BDSM because it is controlled and can help them manage that trauma and help them work through it in a way that sometimes just plain therapy doesn't do. But it's also in very trusted environments where you can say stop at any point in time and it stops, and you can work through these kinds of pains. Many people do, and that is perfectly acceptable and fine. I don't want to say that scene was bad for that reason. That's not why. If she wants to work through her trauma that way, that's fine. But like, that I just didn't really like the way that they portrayed that as something that like everybody would be watching. I also didn't feel like that was something that was like a good consent situation, because it was just, I don't know, I just really didn't like the way that was done. I just hated that. I thought it was gross. So his music keeps playing through all of it. And so here's the thing, I did get through the first 3 episodes. I still was bored out of my mind. I like the last 2 episodes of the first season of AHS. I was like, yes, And I think that that is what made me continue to watch the show. But they like brought The Weeknd in, and he cannot act. His music keeps playing in the background, and it's just very disconcerting every time. Like, and the thing is, they keep having him randomly be in like the back, like in the dark, wearing these like weird, like Hunter S. Thompson, like sunglasses inside in a dark room. It's just awkward. Like maybe he could work on acting. I don't think so. I don't think he can. I don't think that acting is his thing. You know what I mean? It's okay. You know, like it's fine if you can't act. Like you're a really talented singer. I really enjoy like your super toxic music, like I used to anyway. Before you had to grace us with like the rat tail and that like fucking terrible wig, which honestly it brings me nightmares sometimes. Like I was trying to sleep and all I could picture was that really, really terrible wig with the rat tail, and like I woke up. So like just go back to wearing the like red suit and your fro and like the danger lighting and the like I'm no good for you and I do too many drugs thing. Thank you. All right, so that's that. I just feel like people just give Sam Levinson money, and they need to stop doing it. Stop giving Sam Levinson money for him to make beautiful garbage. Listen, if y'all enjoy this, I might. It doesn't matter if you enjoy it. I'm gonna keep saying it. It doesn't matter if you enjoy it, because I'm literally still gonna do it. I'm probably gonna be doing a video about some of my favorite like beautiful garbage trash shows that got canceled and I still love them. Dirt being one of them, The Beautiful Life being another. Listen, we're gonna talk about this trash. It's so good. So like, that is all I've got for you today. Again, subscribe if you want, don't if you don't want to. And I do this live. I think all my channels right now are just getting more and more to like just live streams because it's hot. I'm in Texas. It's real hot. And I literally, like, even this light right now is just destroying my spirit. So like, with that said, thank you for all of you who are here in the live. And for those of you who are watching it now edited, hey, I'll see you in the next one. Why am I like this?